Father in heaven, we begin this meeting tonight by being here to honor your name. Father, we thank you for your favor, for your provision. We know that every endeavor that you're involved in, you bless and cause it to succeed. And so we do invite your presence. We thank you for your faithfulness, for your guidance. Father, we pray that you give us favor. All businesses that we approach to work here, Father, we pray that you give us favor with the government. Opens doors for us, may the government continue to open doors for us here at the Port of Brownsville so that this people, this city will be blessed and be important to the work that is here. Father, we thank you for this place, your presence, and your provision. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Texas flag.
Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Item number 2, public audience. We have no one signed up to speak at this time. Item 3, receive director's report. A, receive court monthly operations summary report.
This actually is the report for December. These are unaudited numbers and preliminary to the audit. There'll be some adjustments that are made during the audit that will change this. However, this year, 2011 compares very well to last year. We showed a net income from all sources of about $3.6 million compared to 2010 of $3.3 million. Again, very solid. And if you look farther down, you're going to see that the railroad, they're also unaudited. Did much better this year than they did in 2010. So they're both looking very good. On the January car counts, I will tell you that January wasn't as good as January in 2010. In 2011, however, no one was reporting to us that February is looking very good. She's running ahead about midway through the month. So she's looking for February to be much better month than January was. The next section has a 3-year comparison on the cargo statistics. You'll see that 2011 ended up in a very good number, well ahead of 2009 and 2010. When we talked about the non-waterborne cargo, that number is considerably larger than what we've reported in the past. We're just getting more response from a lot of our lessees as far as reporting what they're doing off the water. So that's some of the focus that we've been trying to get, and we're getting good results.
What percentage of increase would that be on the total waterborne cargo, Stu?
At least 25%.
Right, 25?
And then, of course, January is a very strong month for us. And we had a lot of new cargoes coming in. Of course, we saw the first wind towers arriving. We have some more. The blades are on the way down to us. And steel was strong and petroleum was strong, so we had a very good first month for 2012. And on our property taxes, we're about 77% collected for the October, which is a very good, strong collection for us. If there's any questions?
Very much, Doug. Appreciate having you.
Mr. Chairman, Board Commissioners, I've been working to be brief. I will be as brief as possible. The February 15th report on the VH deepening and widening. There are several things going on, but basically the major issue is that we are working right now with the Corps. I'm going to show you this, but I'm going to tell you basically we're working with the Corps on the working kind. We're about, right now we're about 40 to 50% complete with our study in-house, and we should be having it completed by next week. We have PDP next week, Wednesday, and then we have the court coming in on Thursday. The colonel will be here on Thursday, as some of you probably already know. And then on the 29th, we have the PDP team coming to the port to visit the port and see everything that we've been doing. One of the things that we wanted to show you today is some new equipment that has come in, the new motor grader. I'm going to try to read through these. This is the different views of the motor grader. And then also a new 4x4 250 truck. These are for the maintenance department. Another project here is the patios. We've been working on the patios. This you can see the geogrid being placed before the limestone. Was this the second layer?
The second layer.
That was the second layer. Here we're putting a new driveway there on the what would be the northeastern corner of the patio, so that it facilitates the access. Here it is, the driveway nearly complete, and then here we have the limestone already in place. And as you can see, there's already steel slab moving. This is the compaction of the patio surface, and then here we have steel slab placement. As you can see, this is a pretty good vantage point. This picture was taken by Mr. Garza. You see the steel being placed, and this is now on patio 22. Patio 22, you can see the surface is done, and as you can see, we have windmill components on patio 22. This is all, I'm sorry, patio 20. This is,
No, that's
did I remember it wrong? Did I remember it wrong? Okay,
Yeah.
this is 22. This is patio 22. I apologize for that typo there. These are the windmill components that we've placed on patio 22. This is one of the areas that is open right now for the back. There's quite a bit of that, as you can see, all over the place. And so basically that's what we're doing. That's all the work on patio 22 for the windmill components. I put all the pictures Mr. Garza gave me, so I apologize for that. But on the main office, there was some work by the maintenance department, new carpeting and new paint on the walls and on some of the offices in the back. So that's been completed. I'm kind of flying through this. On the Seafair Center, of course, you've seen it already, the fence at the southwest. This is a shot showing you the striping that has been completed. Part of the striping and work was the HMO parking. This is another shot from looking at the Seafair Center and the parking area there. And Mr. Juan told me, why don't I take a shot of you, so I let him take a shot of you. The twin access point, this project here is the reinforcing steel that we're using for the foundations on the pole. Here is the steel going into one of the excavations. This is the area on the Old Dock Road. You see the people working here and with our inspectors and everything. This is a slump test on the concrete. The slump is normally less than 5. This was about 4.5, so that was perfect there. That test is so that you can see the workability of the concrete. This is one of the foundations that's already been completed, and here's another one. And that's in the different Old Dock areas there. This is something that I do need to show you because we have an agenda item coming up on this. This is the Paz Malo intersection, final design on striping and signage. This would be the striping coming in on Milo Road, and this is of course Faust, where we would have striping here, a stop sign there, a stop sign there, a double stop right here with a stop bar right there, and all the striping that you see in yellow. We would have to add some pavement in this area and then tie in this back into the road. And basically, what I did want to show you here, this is the design from the engineer. Mr. Lopez was in that meeting where we saw this. This design shows the right turn from Milo to Faust coming in with all the overhangs and all the lines, all the radii for design. This is the left turn from Milo into Faust. So with this layout it works, and then this is the left turn from Faust into Milo. So all of those work well with the design that they have, and that's basically all I was showing you there. On the internal roads project, I just got a couple of photos, 2-3 photos to show you. This is the driveway flume at the entrance of the driveway here. We still have to repair this with concrete. They did they agreed to do a temporary, but they're coming back to do concrete there. That's the flume. After this, it was installed, we didn't have any drainage problems there. This is West Mineral Road completed after the repairs. This is East Mineral. This is just mud, but the road is in really good shape. we beefed it up with 12 inches of limestone. And this is just some shots of 550. This is shots today of the main lanes towards the port. This is the Old Port Isabel overpass. You can see here some shots of Old Port Isabel overpass still. This is the plankings already in place here from the south to the north. This is the 3248 overpass. And this is the rail overpass for BRG, the crossing that we have there where 550 goes over our rail. This is the 48 intersection looking towards the north side. This is one of the ramps that's going to come down and turn into the port here. And this is the ramp going out to the right, going towards Anfield. And that's it. No, that's not me. I don't know if that was 5 minutes. I hope it was.
Very good.
Very good.
That's it. Thank you. Any questions? I can do this. Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Adrian.
Yes, sir.
World record. Guinness. Hey, where's
Item number 4, consideration and action on the following consent agenda items. A, approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting of February 1st, 2012. B, approval of the following leases. John Motors International Transport, LLC, amendment.
Ready? He's going to abstain, so let's vote separately.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll
Motion.
second that, Mr. Chairman.
Moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. On the minutes? Okay. And next one is the lease, and we need to show Commissioner Lopez as abstaining.
The motion?
Motion?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Item number 5, consideration and action on rescheduling the regular board meeting of March 21st, 2012 of the Brownsville Navigation District Board of Commissioners. This meeting, there will be several commissioners out going to DC. I think that's during this, maybe the spring conference at AAP. So
Talk about just having one meeting for the month?
we can, or we can just move it up for back a week, depending on. I mean, we can just shoot right now for one meeting, and then if we've got a lot of on the agenda, we can always.
Then we can just cancel it, and then if we need to have it, we'll have it.
So moved.
Second. Moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And that's to actually cancel it.
Right.
We're canceling this meeting, subject to future date possibly.
Item number 6, consideration and action to approve proposed write-off of uncollectible accounts.
At the time that Seabridge ceased operations, there was a balance due from some of their vessel traffic here in the port. At the time, we moved it into a suspense account, just holding it to see what would happen if we got another operator in here, and we could possibly negotiate some of this from a new operator. That hasn't happened yet. So at the end of the year, as we're getting anything out of it, we're going to ask you for anyone else to write this up.
The company is no longer around.
Motion.
Okay, and for Mr. Renfro, is it, we can't sell this lots to any company that we've got a loss to where they can take a percentage of it?
Well, you're writing it off, and I want to make sure that this is clear. Your writing it off doesn't forgive the debt. They still owe you the money. And you could still take collection of it. What it does is it takes it off your books as an asset. But you could pursue it if there was some possibility of collection. But you do have an obligation to keep your books accurate. And so if you don't think there's a chance to collect it, you can write it off. But you're not asking the board to forgive it.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
I just think it's a big amount to,
And if you'd like us to, I can contact some companies, see what they would offer us.
as it is, we have zero, and if somebody charges us 30% to get some money, then something is something.
Yeah.
That would be appropriate to the point.
Well, that's how they work on the percentage, so whatever they collect.
60/40.
Some of them less than 64. I mean, some of them give you more than 60. we'll take some.
Just let the board know what you're doing.
And these are just write-off balances, right, Steve?
We're just gonna write it off. Actually, we take some out of expected to be collected, and we take it against the loss that we've already put on the books. We put an expense every month on the books.
Any further questions of Deb? Okay, then moved. Is there a second? Second. Okay, moved second. All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 7, consideration and action to authorize staff to submit an application for FY 2012 Tiger 6 grant. 4, I'm sorry, grade 4. I passed out a little one-sheeter just to see, we have a couple of different options that we can apply for. As you know, in our first round, we applied for one big package. It was, dock 16, dock 6, some rail improvements and equipment. In the second round, we backed down from that and we applied with Port Manatee to just go for cargo dock 16. In the last round, we backed a step down and just applied for the dock 16 grant. So what you're seeing there is what we applied for last year. So we can either do that again and just put more. What they told us is that they would like to see our request at like the $10 million mark. So that's why we were considering maybe doing oil dock 6. And you'll see the breakdown of the project and then, what BND would actually be responsible for in the contributions. We may even have to come off a little more on this if we're going to stay, in the $10 to $15 million mark, but that's what we're proposing.
Now, this information here from CMART with the 26 and then the 25 million for oil dock 6.
Yes, sir.
That's for the Tiger Grant 4 proposal?
Yes. Well,
But we need to choose
either
whatever.
one, yes,
Okay.
one or the other, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because what we've had debriefings with MARAD, and that's what they said, that in the past our requests were just too high. And if it were, phases or different projects, that each one has to be a standalone project. Well, we only have, one project that we're requesting, and you can't get funded for half a dock. So, either we show this as a, $6 million contribution. We were willing to put $5 million on the dock 16 by purchasing a new dock wall crane. So that would actually be a cash contribution to the oil dock 6. And then we already have the soft cost of the engineering that we've already spent on the plans. So, in the event they came back and, said, well, this is more in reason, could you put a little more in? Or, we could always.
Now, let me ask a question. On both of these proposals, well, first of all, you stated 10 to 15 million is where they want us to stay, preferably the lower the better, obviously. The contribution in cash, both of them from BND is $5 million.
Right.
And then on the oil dock 6, you're showing private terminal contributions, which I'm assuming is from customers out there.
Right.
Are they already committed to that amount, or are we still negotiating with them?
It wouldn't be a contribution to us. It would be the cost of them to connect to the oil dock. And yes, we have communicated with them, and we've talked to 2 of the 3 users, and they were very willing to, they actually said that if they wouldn't mind kicking into the actual cost of the dock, because we need a new dock facility. Now, is that signed on the dotted line? No, but some of our other oil docks are in pretty bad disrepair, so by building this new dock, then we could actually take some of the other barge docks out of service and do some repair work on them. But that's just connecting them to that dock.
It seems to me that like oil dock 6 as opposed to cargo dock 16 doesn't even exist, but oil dock 6 does exist, and that is currently being utilized, right?
No, sir, 5. We have Oil Dock 5.
Six doesn't.
So
Yeah,
6
six
is
would be a brand new
non-existent?
building. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So both of these projects are non-existent?
Yes, sir.
See, Mark, what's the cost of us applying for that?
Nothing. We basically what we did, and that's what we did last time, we took information that we had from the first two and staff worked on it.
So it's gonna be no
There's no
financial.
cost estimate.
That's just the only thing to fill out the paperwork.
And we do that.
When is the paperwork due?
The pre-application is February the 19th, and we've already started putting the information together, and basically with your approval, tell us which one.
And when are they supposed to make a decision? May?
The pre-app is due on the 19th, and then we have until March, I think the mid of March to get the permanent application in. And then I think they're going to decide pretty soon, I mean, like June.
So in your discussion with Marriott, and I'm assuming that you and Eddie are recommending roll on 6, based on the dollar amounts you're telling me to try to stay within.
Seems like that'd be the best. I mean, you know,
Besides that, Mr. Chairman, I think if we try to go for Dock 16, what we apply and what we have to put in, it doesn't stop there because we still have to refurbish the back part of that dock. So,
that's exactly
so you're
right.
looking at
Additional
another $8 million.
Now before it's over with.
Right, and I mean, you can see from our cargo stats that, I mean, our liquid cargo business is
Going up.
steadily increasing, and there's a definite need for this. I mean, there's a definite need for cargo dock 16 also, but I mean, this would have immediate use.
We're moving more petroleum and it seems like the oil dock is what we really need. I'll make a motion to go with oil dock 6, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Is there a motion, is there a second to that?
Second.
Okay. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Jim.
Item number 8.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Consideration and action on assignments, negotiations, easements, subleases, and contracts in general. Item 1, A&T Port Mark Development Company, LLC, authority to negotiate.
Chairman, Commissioners, the lease to A&T Port Mark under contract 3317 has expired, and they're requesting a new lease. I'm asking the board to give the staff authority to negotiate a new lease.
Second. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Item number 2, Intercoastal Salvage Inc., authority to negotiate.
The lease also to Intercoastal Salvage under contract 3473 is due to expire in April, and they are requesting a new lease. This would be a tank farm operation, so I'm asking the board for authority to negotiate a new lease with them.
How long have they been with the port? Mr. Rhodes?
Oh, they've been with the board at least, I guess, over 10 years. This is also Trinity Scrap, doing business as Port of Brownsville, Port of Brownsville Recycling. This is Nancy Gaetan. This is one of their leases. They have 2 other leases,
So they have a total of,
but they have 3 leases for the port.
first one they have is
They have on 511.
511.
They have one here, and this, and they have this one.
Which is the one that we're?
This one right here, on old 48.
Now those tanks aren't workable, right?
This
It's
was
just
the old
scrap.
P-Mex that she purchased, and so that is the reason for tank farm, because she's trying to market that, find a potential prospect to sell those improvements, since she's in the demolition scrap business. So she acquired that from the bank that had that account.
What's her goal to repair that and resell it?
Yes, to sell those tanks to a potential customer that's in
store.
need for storage. Yes.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Item 3, Jorge Gonzalez, authority to negotiate.
Mr. Jorge Gonzalez, under contract 3586, his lease expired, and he is cleaning the site. What he wants is to get a lease so he can complete the cleanup of all the materials that he has on that site.
But he's not going to operate there.
He's not going to operate, it's only to clean up and return the site to the district.
What term are you looking at? Are you negotiating with?
We're asking for, well, a year, and maybe
I guess
possibly
my
an
question
option.
is how long does it take to clean the site and if he's not going to operate there?
Yeah.
I would think we'd want to keep it on a shorter leash than a year to force him to clean it and vacate. I mean, because you never know who wants to come in and lease it long term.
Well, doesn't his current lease say he continues to pay month to month?
Yes, he's been paying, yes, month to month.
We were just trying to get him.
Yeah, give him a lease so we can,
It's been like that for the last, what, 4 or 5 years?
hopefully, well, if he completes the cleanup before the year is up, he won't leave the site.
Well, what I would prefer is the shorter the better, only because if it's, I would hope to put a fire on there, we can get it out and
Right.
that stuff out of there. So, makes it available for another tenant.
Did you begin the cleaning process a couple of years ago?
Yes. Yeah.
5 years.
5 years ago?
So I guess my question is why if he hadn't really made an effort to clean it, then why are we messing with it?
He has a lot of us, he has
Yes,
started.
he has been cleaning, it's just that he had an accumulation of, say, 30 years of stuff.
He has some very large pieces of it.
Yes, so,
What kind of cleaning are we talking about?
which is
both?
removing all cars and tugboats and barges. Yes, yes. He's got, yes.
Well, I guess it is, there are two of them here, and are they?
Yes, because the other one, he has boats, which is, he's repairing to sell the boats. And he's already sold the majority of them. He just
He
has.
sold all the 2, I think he had
Yes.
7 and he's finished.
Yes. So that's.
Well, yeah, his intent is, he's retired, his intent is to vacate,
Yes.
and how do we help him along and make him move a little faster than what he's doing?
I don't know, 6 months to, well, repair the boats and, he's gotta find buyers. I mean, first he needs to repair them.
Well, I'm not worried about the boat
Yeah.
so much, because I understand that.
Yeah.
The rest of it sounds like it's just scrap
Scrap.
on this particular one we're talking
Right.
about.
Well,
He's got like antique
Yeah,
cars
he's
out
got
there. I mean, he's got some stuff of value. It's just,
I'll do it. It's
if
fine.
the person is, I mean,
What are you looking at?
As long as we don't get somebody that's willing to go and do business there, I mean, that's
yes. No, I mean,
potential.
we don't have anybody that, I mean,
I'm willing to give him a year if he's under, if he knows that if somebody comes in 3 months, then we have to.
we just encourage him to make sure that he's out.
What can we do for a year with some sort of provision that we notify?
That we're on,
Give a 90-day notice or something
we are
to vacate?
monitoring and that we're making sure that there is activity there, that we're,
No, Mr. Renfro, he's current, we can't do anything.
Well, his lease is expired. And so theoretically, you could say your lease is expired. You can get out, but I guess I would say that he is trying to get it cleaned up, although it's moving very slowly. He hasn't walked away and left us a mess, as some people have. And if he were to walk away, he would be leaving in this case with a rather large mess.
Well, I guess my only concern is if someone did step up and say, I want that spot, can we say, okay, Ms. Gonzalez, you have 90 days? Can we put that in the contract? 90 days, 120 days to vacate, or something?
I mean, he would probably want, he actually has assets on there, so, I mean, if somebody wanted that, he would probably want to vacate because he could sell his assets. He has a building.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean.
a building on there.
That could be a good idea, Mr. Chairman, to put that clause in there.
I mean, I'll let you work it out with Daniel, and obviously you're gonna have to come back to us.
Right.
see.
He has
Yes.
to help him move along a little bit faster.
Yeah.
This is just authority to negotiate.
Right.
Yeah.
You've heard our thoughts and
Yes.
ideas, so whatever you can incorporate.
Okay, great.
So moved.
Okay. Move second, all in favor? Okay.
Item number 4, $440 authority to negotiate.
Again, this is Mr. Gonzalez, and this is the site where he has his office, and this is the site with the dock, and where he has the boats that he's repairing.
The previous site did not have a dock.
No, that was non-waterfront.
Right. This one, you know, you might have more of an interest in, correct? Because it is waterfront.
Yeah. So,
Same
Same
language,
thing,
same
same
thing.
thing.
Same
Try to
thing.
work with them, try to tell them,
okay.
move it along best we can.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so moved and seconded, all in favor? Okay.
Item number 5, Dominico Trawlers Inc. authority to negotiate.
Dominico Trawlers, under contract 3514, his license expired. He had been delinquent and his rentals now current. He's got provided all his insurance requirements, and he is asking for a release. So the staff is asking for authority to negotiate any lease with Mr. Pimienta, with Dominico.
Move, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, move and second, all in favor?
Item number 6, Renaga Inc. authority to negotiate.
Rayonda, under contract 3802. This lease also was terminated due to default in rentals. They are now also current. We have all their paperwork. This is also for, well, it's a shrimp boat operation, maintenance and repairs of boats. And the staff is asking for authority to negotiate any lease. All these leases are at
Current rates. So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Move, is there a second? Second. Move and second, all in favor?
Item number 7, Brownsville Public Utilities Board authority to negotiate.
the Brownsville PUB under contract 3626. Their lease has expired, and they're asking for a new lease for the purpose of sludge disposal. So the staff is asking for authority to prepare a new lease or negotiate a new lease.
Tell them, and we'll let them have the site for free if they take over our waste board.
Yes, sir, we are going to include that. We are going to include that in the negotiations.
What's the term of the lease, Ms. Rosenbaum?
Right now, well, they've only asked for authority to negotiate, so we will see. Our last contract was, okay, it was 5, and before that it was a 26-year contract, so they've basically been there over 30 years. So they're going to, in their permit, they're going to have an extension for the life of this site, to extend the life. And so that's why they're asking for, initially, they had requested to purchase it, remember?
Yeah.
And we advised them that we were not interested. And so they have now come back with asking to lease it, to remain there.
Motion? Motion, Mr. Second. Okay, move and second, all in favor?
Item number 9, consideration and action to authorize the staff to advertise for bids for cable, hoist, ropes for the Fort Scott Walk Lane.
Commissioners, staff is requesting permission to request bids for the cable hoisting sockets for the replacement of the main cable for the port crane. Currently, they're working at operation at 70 tons. It's rated to do 100 tons due to the condition of it. We've been operating at a lower capacity, and it's time that those need to be replaced. They're the original, they're 10 years old, and that's why we're working.
Is that about the average life of the 10 years?
I think part of it is the amount of use that they get, but for example, Freeport replaced theirs after 5 years. So
Have we replaced these cables before? It's the first one? Or is it our first?
And you buy, I'm assuming, they come from the company.
No, the
And actually, that's why we're doing it this way. There's the pulleys that go with it are sole source, but the cables can be done through other providers, and that's why we're separating them out. And doing it.
How much cable would be supposed to be bought?
231 meters of cable. Two cables actually. There's a right and a left turn on them, and there's
Say environmental conditions is what's caused the deterioration of these cables. On page 40, the pictures that are there before us. Would that be environmental conditions, or that's caused by the pulleys as they're being pulled?
It's wear and tear, and as well as the elements. It's very dusty and salt, and everything gets onto them, and we grease them quite frequently, and we've been doing well just to keep them in the condition that they're in. But again, it's kind of used.
Who makes the decision as to the weight that these cables can bear?
Inspector, right?
No, when
We
I'm
have
getting
to inspect it every year.
So when the inspector came in, he said.
There was an engineer who came out, take a look at it, and said, you know, you need to lower it a little bit because you're really pushing the limit on it, and we don't want any safety issues.
Now, Mr. Garza, I noticed that the frame needs a little painting again.
Right.
So good.
Yep. I guess they'll be working on it also.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, to go ahead and authorize the purchase of the cable.
Let's go out for bids. Just bids this time.
Bids.
I'll second. Okay, we move to second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, sir.
Item number 10, consideration and action to approve change order number 3 to the Twig Access Point and Oil Dock Road Lighting Augmentation Project, extended contract.
Mr. Chairman, Board Commissioners, with lighting, we've been experiencing slowdowns to the project due to utilities and pipelines that we found underneath that nobody knew were there. We held a progress meeting last Wednesday where we discussed with our grant consultant. We discussed the issue basically, and we agreed that the best way to do it was to make sure that we gave the contractor enough time to do things right, so that we wouldn't be running into any issues that would deter the quality of the project. So the security consultant indicated to us that the timeline that we have by which these funds need to be committed is May 31st. So extending this to the beginning of April, which is, according to what we have, it would be to April the 2nd would be the completion time for the contractor. It would allow him enough time to make sure that everything that we're running into is not a problem. So that we're asking you to please authorize this extension, and this involves no funding at this time. So that's all it is.
The only question I have is on the lines. Are these abandoned lines?
Well, that's part of the thing. Most of them appear to be abandoned lines because when we've discovered them, we've called lessees and nobody claims ownership of them. So those could be either Pemex lines or, and that's what we seem to think, that they were Pemex lines that were just left there. And in fact, Donna has been indicating that we need to add to our leases with some of these type of lessees, that if a line is abandoned, it needs to be removed.
Now, are we removing, or are we just noting them that?
No, well, at this point, we're not removing it because it's not in their contract to remove them, and we don't have anything in our budget or in our work schedule to remove them. So all we're trying to do is fit in between them. You know? And in fact, one of the issues has been I've been very adamant to try to make sure everything lines up as perfectly as possible. Well, this is not going to let that happen. But we have justification for the little shifts we're going to have. So it's going to look like it's going to be jogging, but it's only because of what's under the line.
What size are those lines?
It varies in sizes, but the two in particular that we were hitting there in between all dots 1 and 2 were 10 or 12. So they're fairly good sized lines. it's not, it's not 2, 3 inch lines, it's, 10 inch lines, 8 to 10 to 12. And, fortunately, our foundations are 30 inch wide. In some cases, we've had only 32 inches of space between the outside diameter one to the other, so we barely fit our foundation right in between it. But we keep hitting places, and, we keep having to move over, and so, I mean, it's slowing us down a little bit, but we want to make sure that these guys have enough time to do it right and pour things correctly, and we've got an inspector. In fact, today we had 2 inspectors out there because they were doing, they had 3 different crews, but we had 2 inspectors going back and forth. So, I mean, we're trying to keep track of all of that.
So we're proposing to bypass the lines then? Extending?
No. This change order is only to extend the contract time. The pipelines that we're finding there have nothing to do with our project. They're just old pipelines that are there that we're winding up.
That doesn't cause anything in the future with the lines being there?
No, because
We just don't have a budget to do that, because it'd be pretty costly.
I mean, ideally, the best thing would be to remove them. But like I said, we have nothing in our budget right now for that. We're in the beginning of the year, which means that we have to, we can ask them about that. And then it's not in the contract for the twig lighting to remove that. And I don't think it would be wise to add it to their contract at this point. And really, the only issue that they're causing us is that we can't bore through them. The auger, I don't know if you saw it on one of the photos, but the auger can't, it's a big thing about this big that has the helix. That thing can't mess with those pipes. In fact, if that hits the pipe, it tears the auger out. So what these guys are doing is they're excavating with the backhoe and finding out, going about 5 feet, making sure there's nothing there, and then they go. So, these guys are being very, very careful, and there's really no way to do that any other way until, when we move to the south side, we probably won't have as many problems like that, hopefully none. But in the north side where we have all these old docks, we have been running into it. And again, this is only a time extension.
No, I understand that. It's just a time extension.
You've made note that those lines are there now for the record, right?
Yes, sir. And we've got them, I mean, we've got pictures, we've got them tied, we know where they are. I don't know what we're going to do with it.
We hit the lottery.
There you go.
Oh,
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
okay, is there a second? Move a second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you.
Item number 11, consideration and action to adopt final design by consultant Urbanomic Transportation Solutions Inc. for the Faust Road and Lima Road intersection traffic channeling modifications.
Mr. Chairman, for Commissioners, as we mentioned in the presentation, and you saw the options for the striping and the final design for the intersection. This agenda item is only to ask you to adopt that design so that we can move forward with having our consultant start looking at plan specifications and estimates for that work, and for you to adopt the design basically. That's all we're asking.
Commissioner Lopez.
It's excellent.
Any questions, Mr. Sure. So we'll move. Is there a second? Second. Okay, move a second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 12, executive session. Action. Item 14, public comment.
Second. Okay, all in favor? All right.